So last lesson I started talking about having a switch that does stuff in the scene. So this is kind of a beginning of that. I've got my little platformy kind of game and I've got a switch, and the idea is when I press E and I'm in contact with the switch, it will activate the switch. I'm pressing E now, nothing is happening, but I go over and touch the switch, I press E and it flicks the switch. So let's look at what I did to make that happen. A lot of it is copy and paste and just modifying stuff from other programs. So I'm really keen to kind of model that. That's what you should be doing, finding out or thinking about what you've done before that you can reuse. So I've done copy and paste to make a new switch list and made it into an arcade list. That's just copying and placing lines from above and modifying them. And I wanted to have a switch, so I just copied and pasted something else that made a sprite and added that in and worked out where they had to be. Trial and error is fine for doing that. And then I needed it to be that when I press a key, it checks to see if I'm in contact with the actual switch. So this is the on key press. So key up, key left, key right, key space is just the usual platform stuff, but I've also added in if key E. And first thing I do is check, is the player currently colliding with anything in that switch list? And so if that would only be the case if the length of the hit list, that check for collision with list, is not 0. So I check that and then I'm away. And what I wanted to do, of course, was to animate this. So you flick the switch and it's the same sprite, but you use a different frame of animation. That's the obviously sensible way to do it, and it would make it relatively easy to go backwards and forwards. So I was going to do that, and then I looked up the animation process, and we just don't need to go there right now. What you actually have to do is you have to load different textures, and then you have to select the different texture that you want to appear. Not hard, particularly, but more complexity than I wanted to do. And what I'm trying to model is just getting the job done at the moment and doing the easy thing. So my choice was to actually delete the sprite that we've just touched, the switch with the lever going straight up, and make a new sprite with the lever going right. So switch.bottom. So this is actually exactly the same stuff as we had before. The only difference is instead of lever up, or lever mid, sorry, it's lever right. I haven't made it do anything yet. That would be here. That would be where you affect whatever else you want to affect. It may be, of course, that you only want whatever happens here to happen once, and you might need to have some kind of little flag, a self.switch activated flag being either true or false, just to check that and see whether you do this twice or not. But that would be something that you do afterwards. You don't need to do that until you've got this. The first time you press the button, press the switch, something happens right here. Okay.